Ella. I'm reading from the Quentin Treasury book, story called Patrick. This is a story about a young man called Patrick who set out from his house one day to buy a violin. In the town, the streets were full of stalls. One sold vegetables, one sold fish, and another sold clothes. See the vegetables, the clothes, and the fish. The stalls were very interesting, but Patrick did not stop until he came to the one kept by Mr. Onions. On his stall he had a broken jug, an old lamp, a mousetrap, and all sorts of things that people did not want anymore. "Have you a violin to sell?" asked Patrick. "You're in luck," said Mr. Onions. "I have just one." Patrick bought the violin with his only silver piece. Here it goes, sitting on the table, see? That's it. He was so pleased that he ran as fast as he could out into the fields. When he got there, he blew the dust off his violin. Look at it all flying. Wow. Then he sat down by a pond and began to play a tune. As he played, the most extraordinary thing happened. One by one, the fish in the pond began to jump out and fly about in the air. And what is more, they were all different coloured and they were singing to the music. Look, bop, 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 all the different colours, and they're all singing away. Imagine that. Wow. Just then a girl and a boy came along the road. Their names were Kath and Mick. "Did you do that?" asked Mick, pointing to the fish in the air. And Patrick said, "Yes." Then he played another tune, and the string tying Kath's hair turned into red ribbons, and the laces in Mick's boots turned into blue ribbons. Magic! And so the three went down the road together. Soon they came to an orchard of apple trees. Patrick played his violin, and the leaves on the trees changed to all kinds of bright colours. Look, see? Gradually changing to all the colours of the rainbow. Wow! Instead of apples, the trees began to grow pears and bananas and cakes and ice creams and slices of hot butter toast. Yum, yum. Kath and Mick ran about among the trees and helped themselves to whatever they liked. What would you have? I think I'd have some ice cream. Yeah. Look, he's got an ice cream in his hand. Wow, there's jellies and trifles and cakes and she's having cakes, isn't she? Wow. As they were eating, a flock of pigeons flew down and Patrick played his violin again. The birds began to sprout bright new feathers until they were the most beautiful birds you had ever seen. Kath and Mick fed them on crumbs of chocolate cake. There they go, look, pigeons, and then change colours. Here they go. Wow. After Patrick and the children had gone a little bit farther, they met some cows. They were white with black spots. When Patrick played his violin, the cows became covered with coloured stars and started to dance to the music. Never seen a dancing cow before, have you? Look. Wow. There's the birds and the fish and trees as well. So they all went along the road together until they met a tramp. The tramp had whiskers and a hat with a broken top where his hair poked through. He was smoking a pipe, and every time he gave a puff, sparks flew out of it. See it? Here's the sparks. That's a lovely tune you're playing, said the tramp. There's nothing I like better than a tune on the violin. So Patrick played even harder, and the sparks from the pipe of the whiskery tramp got bigger and brighter until they were a shower of fireworks. Look at that. Wow. On they went, all along the road. It was just like a procession. Kath and Mick with their ribbons, the fish and the birds singing, the cows dancing, the whiskery tramp puffing fireworks from his pipe, and Patrick playing on his violin. Some procession, eh? Before long they met a tinker and his wife with a horse and cart. Look at our procession, shouted Kath. Isn't it fun? How can he enjoy it? Asked the tinker's wife. He's very thin and I don't know what to do for him. He's got a cough and a cold and a stomachache and a headache. I said a stomachache. It might be a stomach ache and a headache. We have to travel so slowly and I don't know how we shall get to the town before dark. Let me play my violin and see what happens, said Patrick. So he played a tune and you can see what happened. The tinker started to get fatter. Here he goes. Ooh. He lost his cough and his cold and his stomachache and his headache until he was well and smiling and happy again. Look at him at the end. Wow. And not only that, look what happened to his horse and cart. The tinker and his wife climbed on, and so did Patrick and Kath and Mick and the whiskery tramp. The fish and the birds flew above them and the cows galloped along behind. Look at that, how colourful is that? Gee whiz. And then they all got back to the town before dark. That's a really good story. I liked that one. That's the end.